Today on Seahawks Forever, Pete Carroll may have his Tell the Truth Monday. This is going to be Tell the Truth Tuesday. I unveil a new weekly segment during the season, Pivot Point, where I break down a play, or in this case, two, that I think sums up the storyline of the day, good or bad, for the Seahawks. One of these is a play that's getting a lot of attention from you. I let Geno Smith off the hook a little bit in this one. And in the other one, though, I think it's the pivot point of the game where things really turned sour and it became difficult for the Seahawks to come back and win. And it also points out a problem for them on defense they need to fix in a hurry before they get to Detroit. Let's get to this episode of Seahawks Forever.
Welcome to the Seahawks Forever podcast. In-depth analysis on everything Seahawks. And now, here's your host, Dan Viens.
Thank you to everybody who has subscribed in the last couple of weeks. They continue to go up as I try to get to the next goal of 3,000. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you subscribe, you get notifications of new episodes. You never miss anything like this. This one will not go out over the audio platform because it just wouldn't work as well, because we're going to be doing some video breakdowns, right? And if you really like the show and want to show some support, link in the description to buy me a coffee. You can buy me a coffee, or better yet, a beer. As got to give a shout out to Ciaran. I think I'm saying that right. Ciaran O'Dwyer bought me 3 beers. Really, really appreciate it. Had some nice things to say about the show. So thank you. I want to get right into this. This is going to be fun. Took the all 22, looked at some key plays, and thought I would highlight one each week. And hopefully some of these as the season goes on will be positive plays and things that really look good for the Seahawks. These do not. So I'm going to do 2 things, kind of a bonus first, because a lot of attention being paid to the failed flea flicker and how that shows what a poor day Geno had on Sunday, missing a wide open Jake Bobo running for a touchdown. When you take a closer look, you can kind of see maybe A, why that play broke down and didn't work, but also B, we don't want to let Geno completely off the hook. There was an opportunity that was missed there. And we'll highlight that. And then also a play on the first drive of the second half of the Rams that I think summed up the day on defense for the Seahawks. Let's get into it. This is Pivot Point. All right, so this is a play that a lot of you have pointed back to as an example of why it was such a struggle for the Seahawks on Sunday and why they were so bad, why Geno was so bad. This is the flea flicker. Second drive of the game, they're down 7-3 after giving up that long touchdown drive to the Rams. It's 1st and 10 on the Rams 42. And what you're going to see here, this is the flea flicker, right? So you've got Jake Bobo's going to be the intended target. He's going to run just a little skinny post. And then Geno's over here split out wide. He's going to come back, and you're going to see right here, he's got a decision to make. And a lot of you saw on the television copy, Bobo running wide open, and Geno doesn't hit him. Now watch this unfold from the top angle. Geno gets a pitch from Charbonnet. You see it right there. Let's run that back. This is what you see on television, right? But look a little closer. So we see Bobo looking back. See how good my little arrows are there. And here's Geno. Geno hasn't had a chance to set up yet, right? Because this guy is getting in his face a little bit. So he had to move. It looks even more obvious when we play it from the end zone camera. Now watch this. There's going to be a mesh point here where this play is determined. So we see it from behind, and I'm going to stop it. I'm going to try to stop it right when Geno gets ready to throw, because right there, watching live on the live stream with Dana, she was screaming about this. You know, got to hit Bobo, got to hit Bobo. And a lot of you on Twitter and in the chat room were saying the same thing. And I just thought the window of opportunity there was too small. Look at it here. This is where Geno wants to throw the ball, right? He's getting his back foot in the ground. He's getting ready to flip his hips and throw this football. But right before this, let's back it up just a second. Forgive me as I learn this new tool. If you back it up just a second, this is when Geno first gets the pitch, right here. But where's Bobo? He's facing this way. He's wide open. Sure, there's nothing here. You know, I don't know what the coverage is here. But this is right when Geno's getting ready to put his foot in the ground, and there he does. Well, now where's Bobo? Now he's turning this way. Still wide open. There's nobody back here. The referee's in coverage. Bobo's looking there. He wants it. And so a lot of you have said, well, why doesn't he throw it here? Right? Just throw this ball up and let him get underneath it. It's a missed opportunity because then you get the pressure. And at first I thought it was Charles Cross because he was kind of the one chasing him. But if you go back and look at it again, it's Damian Lewis that really misses this and lets this guy go. He's got a straight shot at Geno, and Geno scrambles, try and make something out of it. So there's an opportunity here, and yeah, I'm not letting Geno off the hook because I think, let's look at it one more time from this angle. I think if you trust Jake Bobo, let that fly right there. Let that fly. There's an opportunity there, right there. Okay? We've seen Russell Wilson do that so many times, especially I can think of examples with Doug Baldwin, where he just threw it to a spot and knew that Baldwin was going to make an adjustment on the ball and go get it. Geno needs to do that here. Let that ball fly right there before the pressure comes in. It was just too early in the game, and he thought there'd be other opportunities. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about this play. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity. The Seahawks still scored a touchdown on this drive to take a 10-7 lead. All was not lost. All looked good at this time. So I just wanted to give some perspective to that play because I think, yes, it's a missed opportunity. Geno needs to make that play, but it wasn't the killer that some of you think it was at the time. All right, so this is this week's pivot point where I think this game was decided. It was the Rams' first drive to start the second half. Remember, the Seahawks had missed a field goal at the end of the first half, missed an opportunity there. So this ends up being a 10-point swing, and it really exemplifies the struggles that the Seahawks had, not only on third downs, but third and longs, and in particular against this one personnel grouping and formation on offense. Now, the Rams had already, this ends up being a 10-play, 76-yard drive, taking about 6 minutes off the clock. The Rams had already converted a 3rd and 4 earlier. The Seahawks had them in a good position to maybe get a 3 and out. A completion from Stafford to Nakua keeps the chains moving. What makes this play especially frustrating is that there was another opportunity. The play before this was a 2nd and 16 where Stafford gets half of that back on an 8-yard pass to Van Jefferson because on first down, Boye Mafe comes up with a 6-yard loss tackling Cam Akers in the backfield. So this one hurt, and it was really a backbreaker. It's 3rd and 8 at the Rams 48. And this is, you're going to see Tutu Atwell, right? It's kind of an infamous pick for the Rams. He was taking one pick behind D. Eskridge. A couple of years ago, they reportedly wanted Eskridge, pivoted to Atwell afterwards. You're going to see him motion into this stack formation here, and that's key, right? And then from here, he's just going to run a little flag route. And as much as I was screaming, just screaming earlier in the game, especially on the live feed if you watch that on the PSF app, for the Seahawks to stop playing that soft zone coverage, play more man. They play man here. But that's precisely what McVay was scheming against and picking on, and that's what this formation does so well. Because what you'll see here, if you recall, is now this is Artie Burns, this is Trey Brown, Julian Love. Now Love's going to come up and take the flat receiver, and Burns, these two receivers, once Atwell gets in here, are going to cross. Right? He's going to run that post, and then there's going to be a cross. And that's going to cause Brown and Burns right around here to run into each other. It's like a well-designed, well-disguised pick play. And then the Seahawks are going to get no real pressure up front, and they miss an opportunity to get some pressure with Darrell Taylor, which looks a little, we'll show that from the end zone camera. So let's let this one rip, and you'll see it develop. You may have to look away if you still haven't dealt with this yet. But this, as many darts as Stafford threw and big-time elite throws into small windows, this is an easy pitch and catch. Easy pitch and catch. And you can see just the body language on Burns and Brown. We'll watch this in full here before I back it up, and we'll show you some of the issues up front. just an easy pitch and catch. There's no way once those guys ran into each other, you're going to catch him. And you see Brown, he's frustrated. Burns is frustrated. Now let's go back and look at that again from the end zone camera, and you'll see another missed opportunity up front. So as I look at the all-22, one thing that stood out to me, and I was pretty adamant that I was frustrated with the lack of production from Draymond Jones, only 2 tackles. One of them came in garbage time at the end of the year. Called him a no-show. Every play that I highlight and watched in all 22, he's getting doubled, right? He gets doubled here. He gets picked up by these 2 guys. And Nwosu can't do much because he takes a really wide arc, so he's not going to get in on the play. And the Seahawks do something here that I've been pretty vocal about. They haven't done a lot of in the last couple of years. They try to do a little twist here. So Jaron Reed's going to go outside the tackle, try to loop in this way. Bobby Wagner's going to kind of read the play and then start to come. Darrell Taylor beats his guy. Darrell Taylor wins here, comes inside of him, has a bead on Matt Stafford, who looks the safety off slightly, and then is going to come back this way to Atwell, but then he falls down, and watch what happens. At that point, it's an easy play for Stafford. Boom. Taylor trips right here, so that really takes away any chance of Wagner getting to him. Reed's too wide. Nwosu's too wide. Jones is doubled. Taylor would have had an opportunity to affect this play, even for a moment. Give Brown a chance to make up that ground. Maybe force him to check it down. Another missed opportunity. And that was really the backbreaker. The Seahawks punted on their next 4 offensive drives. That's when, Cross was already out of it, or Lucas was already out of the game. Then Cross exits the game on that first drive too with the toe injury. And really there was no chance for the Seahawks after that. I talked about that stack formation. Our friend Matty Brown posted a stat that I saved. And this is throughout the game. The Seahawks, or the Rams, ran that 11 times. They got 151 yards of their passing offense through that formation with the stacked 3 wide receivers. 5 of their 11 third down conversions came on that formation, and 4 of their 8 explosive plays. Guess what? Ben Johnson and the Lions are going to run this formation. They're going to see this tape. Seahawks better fix this quickly and learn how to defend this, or it's going to be a long day in Detroit. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Give me your comments. What do you think? After you've had a chance to kind of digest this game a little bit, do you feel any better about it? Sometimes the all-22 makes things look worse. I think there are some glimmers of hope when you break it down. As I said on the show yesterday, the morning after, it may not be as bad as it seems when you look at the fact that it wasn't one bad performance, it was a bad half. And it was a bad half that was then exaggerated by Charles Cross and Abe Lucas being out. By the way, breaking news, the Seahawks have signed 41-year-old NFL veteran Jason Peters, 8-time Pro Bowler, I think. How much does he have left in the tank? Who knows? He's been signed to the practice squad. They had an open roster spot there when they put Kenny McIntosh on injured reserve. How much can he help? Who's he going to play for? Is he going to play left tackle or right tackle? Will he be needed this week, or will it take him some time? You would think at his age it would take him a little bit to get up to speed. He's played very little right tackle. That was earlier in his career with the Bills. Played, I think the numbers are 135 pass rush snaps for the Cowboys last year, gave up 11 pressures and 1 sack. It's slim pickings out there on the free agent market. So hopefully we'll get some good news on Charles Cross and his turf toe, and Abe Lucas and the knee. I'm a little more concerned about Lucas because that's been an ongoing thing. But the way Pete Carroll talks about it, there is no structural damage to Lucas's knee. So it may just be a pain tolerance situation. And hopefully it's one where he won't make it worse by playing on it. Because Seahawks need those guys. So anyway, tomorrow, join me, Chris Perfett from the Lions side of things. We'll be going over kind of what things are going to look like in Detroit. Sold out stadium. They've sold out every game this year for the first time in over 40 years. Seahawks need to turn around quickly, and they need to figure out how to defend those stack formations. That's going to do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow with our Lions preview. Follow me on Twitter at Seahawks Forever. Subscribe to the show. Buy me a coffee or a beer if you'd like. Again, description is in, or the link is in the description. Until next time, as always, let's try to stay positive. forever and always, go Hawks.